Alright guys, today we're here to talk about Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3, specifically on the Steam Deck, on how to actually get it to run, because there is some nuances on getting it to run correctly, and I almost thought it didn't run on the Steam Deck at all until I figured out the exact combination, at least right now, that you need to do to get this game to work. And of course I want to talk about the game itself. As a person who loves Nickelodeon and loves the 90s on this channel, you guys have seen my toy room tour of all the 90s collectibles that I have, so this game is obviously right up my alley and right up this channel's alley as far as talking a little bit about if I like the game, if you guys should buy the game, and how it runs on the Steam Deck and stuff like that. And there's a lot of things to get into with this game. This is obviously the third in the franchise here. The first one and the second one were pretty mediocre because a lot of people especially didn't like the fact that there was no voice acting. Well, here on the third one, there is finally voice acting, so all the characters in the game finally have their quirks and their voice lines from their actual TV shows, which is fantastic. And they're kind of using the same voice actors. If you guys are familiar with Nickelodeon Brawl, they're using the same voice actors that did those characters in that game, if they kind of match into this game as well. So you guys have an expectation of what to hear. And I think that would go a long way. And then, of course, they added more tracks. There's over 36 in the game, over 40 characters in the game. So we'll see. Let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so here we are with Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3 Slime Speedway. So as you guys can tell, it is the third game of the franchise here. And what I did want to talk about first is, of course, how you actually get this game to run. So this game is actually, when I first played this game, I actually thought it wasn't going to work on the Steam Deck at all, because it's very interesting how this game actually works and you can actually get it to run. So the first thing you need to do is you need to go into properties of the game here, and you need to switch on compatibility mode right here, and then you're going to select Proton Experimental. So that's the one you're going to use there. And then that's it as far as the settings go. So you're going to go ahead and hit play like normal on here. And what's going to happen here in a second is it's going to launch the game, and you're going to see the FPS counter on the top left. However, it's going to stay at a pitch black screen, and it's going to infinitely stay there if you don't actually do something. So this is it right here. It's going to stay at the screen here for 60 FPS after it flashes the Nickelodeon sign here. Right there, it stays at as the FPS, and it doesn't actually do anything. And what you need to do is you actually need to wait a full 2 to 3 minutes first. And this is every time the game launches, but it does work pretty well after the game launches, so I still think it's worth playing and putting on your Steam Deck. But you have to wait about 2 minutes or so on this black screen, so let it just sit there, do its thing. And let's go ahead and wait that and fast forward. And now that we've been sitting on this screen for about 2 minutes or so, we're going to go ahead and hit this top button here on the Steam Deck. And as you can see, you can start hearing the audio. You don't see anything on the screen yet. And then we're going to go ahead and hit start. And there you go. Now you see the game loaded right there. So that's the combination you need to do. I know it's a little weird, but yeah, after 2 minutes, you hit this button right here. And then you hear the audio, and then you hit the start button, and then this appears, and then we're kind of ready to go. So go ahead and hit A here. So here we are at the main menu. So I'm going to show you first I'm going to give you an overview of the game, because I do want to kind of review this game a little bit for you guys. For those of you guys who are interested in buying this game and are trying to figure out if it's worth your time or not. So the first thing I'm going to say is this game has a lot of content in it. Way more than the other games. If you have not played the first one and the second one and you're coming into this blind for the first time, there's like 36 tracks in the game and over 40 characters in the game. The characters have to be unlocked with in-game currency, and they'll like pay to win or anything that you have to unlock. And there's a lot of unlockables even with like the cart parts and all that kind of stuff. So and all these different things that are in the game. So a lot to unlock and a lot to play through. A lot of characters. And for the first time ever, the characters are actually fully voiced with their characters. They usually, if you guys have played the game Nickelodeon Brawl, most of the people who did the characters in Nickelodeon Brawl kind of lended their voice to do it in the kart racing game. So you guys can expect that same kind of the same kind of cast that's doing the voiceover work. Some of them are the original, some of them are not, but they do a pretty good job overall of playing the game. Or playing the voices of these characters, which is really cool. But I'm really, really impressed on all the content that's in the game. I mean, we have single player here, of course, and if we hit single player here, we got Slime Scramble, which is essentially your cups. So if I were to just click on the cups here, just to show you guys the tracks, you can go ahead and hit slow, medium, or fast, depending on how you want to do it. And then you have all of the different cups. So you can see all the different tracks that are in the game right here, which is really cool. You got Reptar Ruins, you got House of Cat, all of these. And some of these are ones that have been in the game before. That's why I said if you haven't played the second and the first one, you'll have a different take on it. But there's about 11 or so new tracks in the game that have been specifically made for the third version, with the other ones getting updates and graphical enhances for this version. So you can see all the voice work there is that work from the characters as you're scrolling through. So you can see all of the different ones, and they have some really interesting tracks on here that you have to really know your Nickelodeon verse. Some of them I didn't know what shows they were from, but there's some really cool ones in here. I'm just scrolling through here so you guys can take a look at all of the different ones in there, like Ghost Zone, Most Haunted Tour, the Road Show, Food Cordia. So a lot of different ones. You got Dreamland, Toy Palace there, Turtle Lair, New York Rooftops, Double Dare Obstacle Course. So it's not even just like animated TV shows. It's actually Double Dare, which is really cool. So you can hear all the different voices. And then you can see here we got Retroland, Jimmy's Lab, and then we got the last one with Reptar, which has 4 courses unlocked that you have to get a star in all the previous ones before you can get that far. So really, really cool stuff there. So we got that there. Then we got Free Race over here, which you could just select the track and play whatever you want. You got Time Trials, which is really cool that it uses the time clock. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar, but as a huge 90s fan, I have that time clock in my collection, and it's awesome that it's here. Then we got Challenges, which is really cool. Challenges is basically playing different races, and they give you an objective to do, as you can see here. And each one tells you to do a specific thing. Like this one says hit 5 targets with Phil and Lil, get 5 slime tokens and win the race, perform 5 slime stunts and win the race. Sometimes you have to beat a boss battle, which is really cool. And some of the characters that you have to unlock actually only appear here. So you do want to play through these to unlock all the characters. But it's cool because you get to play different characters that you probably wouldn't select if you were playing on your own, and get these little mini challenges that kind of switch up the gameplay of just regular racing. And then, of course, you got Arena mode on here, which a lot of us, I'm sure, are familiar with, and you got a few different modes on there. You got Demolition, hit opponents 10 times to win. You got Control the Spatula, which is holding it for a period of time. You got Slime Trails, charge your vehicle with slime, and cover more ground than your other team, so it's kind of a Splatoon kind of take to racing. And then Jelly Spotters, which is kind of like capture or cops and robbers kind of thing. Jelly Spotters must capture the jellyfish before the time runs out. So really cool different modes on there to kind of keep you interested. So there's a lot of different modes in the game to play to keep you interested. And it even has, that's just the single player stuff. It of course has online gameplay as well. Right here, online mode. And of course 4-player local multiplayer if you're doing that on a larger screen and everything. You have that option available as well. Then you got the garage, which we'll talk about here for a second. And these are where all the characters are kind of sitting. And slime tokens are what you use to unlock them. So these are all the characters, but you can see I have to unlock them. The ones that don't have a little shopping cart next to them, you can see that they cost like 200 slime tokens, which again, you just earn by racing. But you can see all of the different characters that are in here as I scroll through. And there is more than just what are on this list, because the ones that are in the challenges aren't on this list. They won't appear till later. So there's more than just what's on this list. These are the ones that you could just unlock by just purchasing tokens. There's more than you unlock by playing those challenges. Like I said, there's over 40 currently in the game, which is really awesome. And the fact that they're all voice work for the first time is really, really cool. And I think they did a good job, too, on the voice work. So a lot of cool stuff to get into in the game. I think the game is honestly worth the full price. I know some people I saw in the reviews were like, oh, it's kind of like a... it's not a fully fledged game, and I'm not really understanding where those reviews were coming from. I'm going to be 100% honest, especially if you've never played the first one and the second one and don't own them. You got 40 tracks, over 40 characters. They're all voice work now for the first time. You got 36 tracks, like 10 or 11 that are brand new to the franchise and never been done before, and every other one that's been ported from the first and second game and kind of touched up or graphically enhanced, which is perfectly fine. You got online multiplayer, you got 4-player split screen, you got the challenge mode, you got the battle mode. I mean, this is exactly what you would want out of a game like this. So I'm not sure where people, and the game's not even full priced technically, so it's not a full $60 game. There's 2 additions to the game, one that comes with extra characters and content, but yeah, I'm not really understanding where people are getting that, but I think the game is really cool, especially if you're a Nickelodeon fan. Is this game as good as Mario Kart? No, it's not as fleshed out as Mario Kart. Mario Kart's definitely been around for a lot longer and is better than what this game is. But as a Nickelodeon fan, I will easily rotate between this and Mario Kart when I want to play a kart racer, because I get to hear the voice characters and get to play the tracks that I know from Nickelodeon franchises and stuff, and I hope they keep releasing DLC. We'll see how that goes. So for right now, let's go ahead and dive into some gameplay, but I'm really happy with the game, so I think you guys should definitely check this one out if you're interested in Nickelodeon and kart racers. The game is really fun. So you can see here I am leaving the game up on high. If you want the game to run at about 55 to 60 at all times, you should probably set this to medium. But I'm going to set it to high to show you guys. You can see the FPS counter there on the top left. It does have some dips into the lower 30, so if you want to just lock the game to 30, you'll have a smooth 30 frames per second on high. However, if you want it to stay above 50 at all times and not have these dips that you're about to see, then you would probably want to change it to medium. But obviously I want to show you guys the graphical quality, and we'll rotate through so you guys can see it. So I'm just going to go ahead and select free race here. We're going to go ahead and leave this on fast, leave the bot difficulty as is. And then there's also these crews that you guys are about to see, which there are a lot of unlockables for that too. So I'm going to go ahead and select the House of Cat for the time being. And the FPS is definitely all over the place when it comes in racing. I feel like with optimization, if they optimize for the Steam Deck, it would run really well on high. It's just not fully optimized for the Steam Deck. It's not even technically compatible with this, so I'm not exactly surprised. But I'm going to be Hey Arnold on this one. Then you can go ahead and select a bike or a cart. I'm going to go ahead and select cart. Of course, there's a lot of unlockables here too, and all the wheels that you can unlock. So you're going to be unlocking stuff for a long time. Exhaust pipes, paint jobs that you can unlock from different franchises. So there's definitely a lot to unlock and kind of look forward to. And then you have all these different unlockables for different characters. So every character, of course, is not in the game. Some of them come across as like chiefs that you can use in the game, and it's cool because then you can actually see characters from other Nickelodeon franchises that didn't make it into the standard 40 characters that are in the game fully voiced, which is really cool. Like Crumb here, which is really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and select Lynn. I like this ability. And then you can select a crew engineer, which has even more characters that from different franchises. And again, look how many there are to unlock on here. There's a lot of stuff to unlock. So you're going to want to definitely unlock a lot of these characters. So I'm going to go ahead and just select ready. These two characters that I just selected at the end are passive abilities. If you guys aren't familiar with the franchise, they give you a passive ability. And then that one is a rechargeable ability with Lynn. So you guys can take a look. So let's go ahead and hit start and show you guys some gameplay and how this actually runs here on the Steam Deck on all high settings.
You're gonna love this ride.
Hear the voice acting there. Cool to see. Missed it.
Oh, it's you.
You can keep an eye on the counter there, on how much it fluctuates. But it still feels smooth, but sometimes it does like actually freeze to, not freeze, but halt the gameplay when it's on high. So like I said, if you want a more steady FPS, lock it to 30, like you could do. Or this part is cool. You got like little slime tracks, and you got to jump over to get some speed. But you can see the frame rate usually holds up pretty well. It's just sometimes it kind of slows down the game, and I'm sure you'll see it here eventually. But like I said, I'd probably lock the game. Me personally, like I don't mind playing 30 FPS on the Steam Deck. I've gotten used to it. I know some people won't. For me, I'd probably just lock it at 30 if it bothered me with the drops. But sometimes it runs really well, like you're seeing right here. So I think with some optimization, if they cared about making the Steam Deck better, they can get this running solidly on the Steam Deck. Oh, do I hate that hand coming up. So you can see all of these different things that you're used to from Nickelodeon. So the characters, all the voices, the carts and everything are all customized. But then you got the chiefs up there. Like, she hits me as a hockey stick and kind of pushes me along. And then you can recharge it. And then, I just fell into that pit. And then you can kind of, you obviously have the slime, which Nickelodeon's known for. You got to hop over this area here to gain a speed boost, which is really cool. You got the Nickelodeon blimps there, which is really cool. Of course, the voice acting doesn't have like a million lines, but it does have a lot of lines as far as different lines from like the popular things that they used to say in their TV show. So I think they did a really good job with the voice acting. I really like it. You are, of course, going to hear a lot of repeats, like, pretty quickly on the voice acting, but that's probably not a surprise.
Out of my way!
Especially if you're playing with the same character over and over again.
Wind's in the east. I should probably shoot for the gap between second and third.
And then the items that you have, like that one there, being the ball from Rugrats, which is really cool. So a lot of the items have to do with, like, different properties of the show, too. Ooh, got killed there.
How do you like this?
So definitely, if you're a Nickelodeon fan, this game is so much fun to play.
Awesome! Have some razzle dazzle. I need some help. You're making me look good. That's what I mean. Oh, it's you. That's right. Ugh. Enchilada.
And there you go with our first place finish there, playing that. So it actually, I know I was saying it before, but it doesn't actually look like that race for whatever reason decided to freeze the game up. Maybe it's actually not too bad. Maybe it's just when you play it for the first time, you know how a lot of games have to kind of like on Linux have to do like the caching of the files and stuff. So it may have something to do with that. But in that instance, obviously it held pretty well. Like I didn't feel any slowdown in the game, even though the FPS wasn't at a steady number. I didn't feel it throughout the whole game. So you can play with that. Like I said, the point is the game runs pretty well on the Steam Deck, minus that beginning issue that you guys saw there, where you have to like wait for that black screen. But other than that, the game runs really well on all high, and the game looks really good on this screen, and it plays fantastic. And yeah, it's your choice if you want to leave it for the frame rate to kind of be a little bit scaling up and down like it is on high, or you can lock it on high to 30 if you want to, or you can drop the game to medium and kind of maintain above 50 FPS at all times. It all depends on you. For me, obviously, I'm a graphics person. I like seeing the graphics as high as they can be pushed on this. So for me, playing it the way I just did is perfectly fine. I'm having a ton of fun with this game. So guys, I definitely urge you to check this one out if you guys are Nickelodeon fans. Works pretty well on the Steam Deck with a couple of nuances there that now you guys know how to play. And if you guys have any questions about it, go ahead and leave those questions down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.